A lot of the fast plays Fiend were throwing at them. Let's see if they are ready to do the same against G2, because they are going to have to be ready for this G2 side.
Well, Jax is out long. We'll see if Nico starts galloping like a happy horse for Maniac in this one as Jax starting things off well. It's a double kill on the P250. He's looking for even more as the rest of his teammates just rush up short into the A site. Nafany's under so much pressure, he cannot hold on. And they've been broken apart here in defense for G2. Hobbit and Inters into a 2v4, pushing up into short. Shots whiz past, but it's a double stack from the T side, and Nico is the only one required. 2 kills picked up. It is going to be Gambit on the HUD, but it's going to be G2 with the win. I mean, coming into this, it was a clean, quick start out long from Jax, and that's exactly the pace you want to see from him.
Exactly the pace we want to see from G2 in general, I think. It kind of goes into what we were just talking about, where G2 might want to make it a scrappier start to this game. Go for these faster pushes. Go and just take those fights early. I think the pressure might be more on Gambit here, considering they are now seen as one of those top teams, as one of the teams that should be making it all the way through the upper bracket. So if G2 can go ahead and push that pace early, could definitely get them out to a strong start, as long as they can win with this one up against the Deegs and the Scout.
Molotov to clear the close corners at door, but it's a double stack from Gambit up into short right now. Nafany will be playing back with Shiro on the Deagles. The HUD has been sorted, and you no longer have to be confused. And while Hunter finds the opening, Inters is being blocked out early. Good mid pick from G2. Now Gambit, they've got to try and figure out how they're going to play this one. They have got 4 players towards the A site, so they've got the stack over at the right side of the map, but G2 still have that opportunity, thanks to having the tunnels presence, to then walk away from A if they decide there's too much action going on here. You've got Nico stuck in the pit. He's committed to this, but he's finding shots. He's hitting everything. He's going back for more in the USPs, having fun right now. The galloping horse has come striding straight into Dust2, but Shiro, he's still alive and kicking. And finally, Amanek brings him out of the round. 2-0 for G2.
It is genuinely terrifying how good these pros are with the Scout. Just instant headshots from Shiro, quick kills from Nico. All in all, a somewhat competitive round, but Gambit were always going to have a hard time in this one. I mean, look at that. Tight angle for Shiro. Quick reactions onto the second player, but he was left with too much to do. It's going to be a 2-0 lead for G2 to kick things off. Should be about to become 3-0 as Hunter is already looking for fights. He's lost out, but I don't think that AK is going to be recovered anytime soon. G2 should be fine.
Yeah, Nexa will take these kills easily. It's nice to see Nexa stepping up on the individual front as well. He's had his highlight moments on this particular map. And Jax is the man who is tasked with the bomb carrying properties. And what? It is going to be Shiro all the way back in lower tunnel. So he's just biding his time for the moment, but it is a formality that we play out the final few moments of this round as G2 will lock themselves in a third. What do we expect to see for Gambit in this first gun round, though, Holker?
Well, I think we should get that up for Shiro. I would expect them to just play their standard setup, because with G2 coming out with this fast pace, Gambit earlier was showing a really good ability to stop those quick plays, especially towards B and mid. You normally have Inters towards the B site, Hobbit sort of rotating around, Nafany will be there a lot as well. But they were mainly tested on the B site in that prior performance, so we'll see if G2 decide to take a more A-centric approach. They have got that AWP out for Nico. Bit of early mid presence at the ready for G2. They will be making their way up mid.
Yeah, making their way uptown. They've got themselves up into the short position. Molly burning back at Hunter. He's not going to be able to walk up too close, so just setting his utility. And being a little bit further away from what could be damaging utility. But Hobbit, he's outside of long right now, playing anti-flash in the corner. Just waiting for them to run out into his long position. Hobbit is ready. They're going to hard clear him, though, and Jax is completely ready. He had Amanek there backing him up on the MAC-10. You're talking about how he's just wild when he gets that gun in his hands, and Shiro getting involved. Axel on the lineup, a double kill, 3 kills from Axel. Goodbye, G2. Axel holds long.
He was in CT the whole time, ready to rotate if needed. And even though Hobbit doesn't get a kill on long, just having that early control, having that early ground makes the difference. I think this was Axel flashing for himself in from CT. You can just throw that flash off the wall, line up some easier pickings. Shiro needed some help on the A site, and he definitely got it in the hands of Axel.
Yeah, Nafany's pumped up about that first round win for Gambit, right? I mean, here on Dust2, you want to be able to get as much of a good start as possible. You do not want to let that cliche momentum go in favor of G2. We know Dust2 is a real seesaw. It can go either way. And Nafany, he's got himself a pick onto Jax. Smoke down on the doorway. Spam coming in from Hunter. He's not too far off getting Nafany here, but good counter utility from Gambit. That's going to allow Nafany to fall back. And Hobbit will trade positions, but on the flip side, he'll be playing in close corner on the right side. Again, does love his little Hobbit holes, Alex. He really does.
Always likes to try and be a bit sneaky. Over on A long, Axel has taken ground again. So that's giving Gambit that ability to play a bit more comfortably on the A site. Shiro can fully focus on short. Just under a minute left on the clock, and a tiny bit of damage done by Amanek. Yet again, G2 look to be lining up smokes and nades into the A bomb site. They don't have to commit here. The A long is more of a fake. It's Nico on the lurk while his teammates push up short.
Shiro, he'll connect the first. Amanek is down and out, but Hobbit, he's still a threat they've got to deal with on ramp, and he's got cover. He's got a first kill as well. Nexa answering back with a quick headshot, but couldn't quite figure out how to deal with Shiro. And now there's just Nico left alone. 1v4 found by Nafany, and Gambit get themselves a second.
Just a good timing from that rotation to get onto the A site to help Shiro out if he needs it. Shiro lands the early shot anyway to make sure that they stay on top of the situation. And then you have that player on the site too, which makes it even more difficult to get there. Shiro lands the second shot, even though Hobbit had fallen on the site itself. And that is going to be another round for Gambit. A low buy for G2, and now 2 AWPs on the CT side ahead of this round. Not much to work with here for G2 though, really. Just 1 Deagle, 1 P250, and a Dream.
Shiro has not missed many of these initial kills, right? He's out long, not really missed any of these short picks, so you're always losing a player, and then it does make it a little bit easier when you soften up the amount of players to deal with for the rifler. And Shiro, when he's not flashed off and he's not neutralized, he's just taking every pick. Hobbit getting involved as well, and Axel wants a piece of the pie, but it gets a little bit too greedy. Down Hunter gives him the beans, but 3-3, it's tied up. And Gambit, they were hyped about their first round win, and they found a couple follow-ups. So we're all tied up here on Dust2, and here comes the buy for G2.
And a couple of these early rounds for Gambit are giving me shades of their performance on Mirage, where they had those fast responses. You see there, Shiro lands the first shot, and Hobbit's already there to help him with a nade, which ends up getting a kill after Shiro lands a tag onto 2 players. So we are getting that dynamic play from Gambit, where they're really quick to help each other out. Let's hope that's set to continue, because I think that's when Gambit are at their best. That's when we'll have to see G2 really up their game to try and get the win. All tied up right now. A little bit of early nade damage. Hunter almost taking a shot from Nafany, but he is fine for now.
A little bit of a change up for Gambit in their setup. They send the AWP up short. That's Shiro just tasked with holding down deep into catwalk. And Hobbit goes down into CT spawn this time. Control for Axel. That's always long in a 2-man setup inside of the B site. So Gambit, a solid CT setup right now. Quick rotations to both sides of the map. And G2 with under a minute left. They don't really have too much utility left. They've got these 3 smokes, and that looks to me like the perfect setup for a short take. But Shiro, not flashed off the angle, is able to take Jax out of the round and drops the bombs. That's good info picked up alongside the initial kill.
Shiro's really good in that spot, close on short, just dodging the flashes, just getting that 1 kill early that you need, falling back with the molly, getting onto the site, and here comes the drop, but Hobbit's ready.
Yeah, this was this initial reposition, right? When they put Shiro up, they put Hobbit down CT. The drop comes in, he's only good for one, and it's the play into B that hasn't worked out for Amanek. Inters is ready for the smoke fade away, and Amanek is unveiled. It's a nasty surprise for Amanek, with Inters on the other side, and Gambit now, they're going to be finding themselves a fourth round as G2 have to call this one off. They've got to save the AK, they've got to save the AWP. It's not a pretty sight right now for G2. After starting well on Dust2, Gambit have somewhat figured them out.
Not an easy call for G2 in this round either, with the money they have. Obviously, on that T side, you get punished if you don't go for the round. If you want to save, you're not going to get any money for it. So Nico has a whopping $0. Nexa has 650. The other players could just save and buy in the next, but then Nico and Nexa wouldn't have that same luxury. They do decide to just go for the half buy, though, keeping a bit of cash in the bank. And I guess the way to overcome those economy issues, Dinko, is just by winning this round. I'm not sure how likely that is, though. They've already lost the first fight.
Nico running deep into mid. Shiro, a bit of a gap to play with in the smoke here for Nico. And he takes out Shiro at the start of the round. That's going to be a 4v4 re-established. And Nico, I mean, he is really the player that has to make it sing, right? That AWP needs to sing a loud song heading into round 8, and it might just boom its way into B. It's Inters and Hobbit set up in the site, and Hobbit with the double kill from Card. Nexa tries to flush him out. He's done that, but Nafny's come in on his AWP, and he's found the wallbang kill on Nexa. Follow-up shot from Inters, and Gambit with the clean round. G2, they get it into the 4v4. They try to go for the B play Hawker, but Gambit already, they shut it down.
It's going to be so hard to beat Gambit with a fast B play like that. Unless your flashes are really good, they're probably going to dodge away from those obvious flashes, and they're going to be able to land some early shots. Here's Hobbit lining up those initial 2 kills on the spray down, and even though he got caught with a nade out later on, Inters was just able to survive at the back of the site. That smoke giving him some extra cover. I don't mind the call from G2. They didn't have much to work with in that round anyway, but I think that is a firm indication that that B site isn't going to be given up easily, especially with Nafny on that fast rotation too.
Yeah, it wasn't enough that you just had the 2 initial kills from Hobbit. Nafny's come over. Inters was somewhat isolated, right? He couldn't really get involved due to the utility keeping it at the back of the site. So yeah, that quick rotation certainly plays a big factor. And with Gambit, a couple of their CT setups have allowed them to go for those quick rotations. So G2 have always got to deal with that. Into this round, G2, a couple of players over to B. It's a fast play out long here from Amanek. He's got out, the flashes have blinded him, and he's spotted from Inters.
G2 do have players in B tunnels. They might just try and pounce here. Mid is probably open when the CTs put that much emphasis on long, and they're just going to go for it.
Ooh. I love this quick response. I love the decisiveness from G2 to commit, but they run up the B ramp. The bomb's been stopped. Inters has found a kill as well. Jack's doing his best, but look at Hobbit. He's in behind middle. Axel's peering over the top. Nico's been plucked out of the round, and now it is just Jack's left alone. It is not looking good for the Frenchman. He has got the bomb on the other side as well. Lots of hungry and disciplined Gambit players waiting for their food. They like a little bit of French cuisine. Jax goes out, Axel with the headshot.
I think that is the right response from G2. As you said, maybe having the bomb through the tunnels would be better against that specific setup, but you can't be sure that it's only going to be the one player on that B bomb site. And that's what becomes a bit of an issue. Even when there's that long stack early from Gambit, it could just be 3 CTs there and 2 on B. You never know. So you kind of want to go for mid. That's probably the most likely position to be completely open. And then unfortunately for G2, because they go mid, Gambit do get an opportunity to fight before they can get to the site. Now it's just pistols for the G2 side. Hunter, yet again, working his way up mid, but he is not ready for Nafny.
Yeah, that was a very quick headshot from Nafny. Cracks things open, and now the faster play from G2, trying to put pressure once again onto Inters. And they've passed every flying test, and they don't even need to pay $400.
Very nice. That B site, certainly a fortress against those pistol buys. Might be time for a timeout here on the G2 side of things, in all honesty. These last couple of rounds, not only have they been round losses, but they haven't really looked close, right? And they've lost 7 in a row now. G2 got the 3-0 lead at the start. They don't decide to go for the timeout, though. They want to keep playing right here and now. Now that they've got the guns in their hand, they feel confident that they can bounce back.
Nice boost to get Shiro vision into the lower tunnel. Might work here for Shiro. Setting up utility. He knows there's a couple of players down there, but with the flash being effective, it one gives away Shiro's position, and two forces him off it.
Still got away with good nade damage, though. That nade landed right on Hunter. Took him down below half health. Yeah, just so many different setups from Gambit, right? It's like every round, it feels like they're throwing something different at G2. It's just so hard for G2 to ever feel comfortable and ever feel like they know exactly what they're running into.
Yeah, it's just not stagnant at all. It's a living organism, just completely lively, changing everything up all the time. And it's very difficult here for Nexa to try and figure out what he needs to employ for his team. What can they do here to get themselves a bit of an edge against Gambit? And Nafany is in behind the double doors. 50 seconds. They did have the majority of the players going towards the B side of things, but G2 have gone through the lower tunnel. With the time starting to tick on, they will eventually have to go with a decision. And be careful, Nico. Nafany's playing near that smoke, and he's going to throw the bomb on down. Jax has collected that. Smoke's still up. Nafany, of course, can't see anything just yet, but that smoke will eventually start to fade away. And so is the clock. We're running dry here on sand, and G2 have got to really figure out where they want to go with this one. They've got to commit quickly, and they're going through the mid doors with limited time. This is risky from G2. They need to get the kills immediately, and Hobbit's coming in behind. It's a meat grinder, it's a death machine, and Gambit up 8 rounds.
Yeah, they couldn't ever really fully clear out that short position. So even if G2 got a clean kill on mid there, Hobbit would have had that fast flank available, and it could have caused all sorts of issues so late in the round. It wasn't even needed, though. Nafany is the impact player of that round, getting 3 kills towards those mid doors, shutting G2 down before they get anywhere near a bomb site. And then Hobbit just has to be the closer, coming in on the flank. Easy pickings for him. And honestly, it feels like easy pickings for Gambit right now. After losing the pistol, they bounced back and won 8 rounds in a row.
Yeah, there was no real attempt to take short there, Alex. It felt like they just ran the clock down and then run through middle, just get mowed down. And with limited time, right, there's not enough time to be methodical. There's not enough time to set yourself up properly. So you end up just getting mauled. And now G2 are going to try and do the same. They're going to go through the mid doors this time from the beginning of the round, and this time with weaker weapons. It's worked out for them. They've got Nafany. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They're trying to split into the B side, but Amanek, he's stuck in the flames. The Inferno will rage on, and Amanek is brought down. And now they can focus on just one avenue of approach. It's the doors and it's the window, but they're finding the kills here, G2. Hobbit playing his position very well. Just in a car using the cover, and Nex is going to try and at least steal away the bomb plant. That'll give some extra money going into the next round for G2. He's done a good job getting that, but Gambit will clean it up.
Like the decision from Nexa, realizes he can just get the plant. I think Hobbit's a little disappointed he didn't get those kills cleaner. Probably could have completely countered that bomb plant entirely, but it's still a solid enough round for Gambit. And I was saying it earlier, Dinko, I was getting some shades of Mirage early in this game. That was the first map that Gambit won convincingly. They won it 16-8. A lot of their cohesion came on that map through their T side. This time it's the CT side that looks like everything is in order for them. All of the pieces of the puzzle fitting together, all of the working parts working beautifully. And that is clearly apparent in that string of blue rounds that has not been stopped.
Yeah, it's a sea of blue for Gambit right now. Feeling comfortable, and G2 clearly not. They're going for the tactical timeout. And even though we're in a situation where you've got weapons to play with, you've got that extra money thanks to the bomb plant, you've got a tactical timeout, it's still difficult to see what they're going to do here, because you can't come into this and play reactive, right? You've got to just go with your own game plan, because if you try and play reactive based on what Gambit are doing, you're never going to be able to find success off of that, because it's always changing, Alex. So it'd be interesting to see what G2 decide to go with. And there's the classic Gambit tactical timeout after their opponents have called one.
Got to be a bit frustrating, because I'm sure G2 had already figured out what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think Jax has got that good long spawn, and we haven't seen too much in terms of G2 trying to fight long early. So this might be the round where you go for that, because I think they do need a bit more early map control. I think they need to force Gambit back a bit early, because otherwise Gambit are going to have free reign to get that information and to go for these rotations that they have been going for up until this point. So I'd like to see G2 fight for that long control, try and take away some of that Gambit information.
Well, out of the back-to-back tactical pauses, we return to the action, and it's G2 with the AWP in the hands of Nico. The AK's out as well. And it's a quick play from Jax out long. He's going to look to try and take some of these fights. And again, it is Hobbit winning that initial fight out long. Gambit have been very good at getting the player into the pit, and it's difficult to flush him out. So now Nafny, he's going to be tested. He gets one, but can't pass the second player. Hunter comes in very quickly with the wall-bang reply, and it is a 3v4. Man advantage in play for Gambit.
Behind them, though. They pushed
the
in
flank
long.
has come in quickly. Axel just out of nowhere, line them up, and Hobbit's there with him. Nico finally gets involved, but it's a 1v3 clutch in total.
2 more to find on 15 health. No bomb in his hands, and Shiro is walking up short. He just wants to take the fight, and Nico's not ready. Easy kill from Shiro in behind. That's what we were talking about. Gambit getting that early map control and then punishing G2 because of it. They push all the way through long instantly. You can see that Gambit knew exactly what was going on there. They realized it's these fake nades towards long. We've got the early kill on the faking player, and we know it's going to be that fast B split that G2 have tried once or twice now. This time, Gambit are so fast to adapt that G2 don't even get the chance to try and make their move.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're getting pounced from both sides, right? You're getting through the mid doors, you're dealing with that issue, but you're also getting flanked from behind. You just can never really find success in that situation. So G2, do they go back to the Old Faithful? And this time it's Nafny up on short, ready for this cat execute. Can they flush him out? He's so ready for those flashes, and he's going to be able to pick up his first pick onto Nico. Shiro out long with his AWP, and this double up setup is working wonders right now for Gambit on the defensive side. Jackson Hunter alongside Nexa trying to pull this round back. Axel is close by. This rifle spamming through eventually gets Jackson. That bomb, it's held back at Gandalf, and it's not able to move forward safely just yet, but Nexa has got the kill back through. But it's a 1v3 now for Nexa, and he just can't do it. There's too much to ask of the in-game leader, and it's 11-3 for Gambit. They're just winning all of these fights. The initial duel comes in for the AWP there, Hawker, and then you've got to deal with Shiro.
Yeah, Gambit keep winning, so I'm going to keep saying it. 11 rounds in a row now. I'm just going to keep counting. Every round, Dinko, that's all I'm going to say.
And then when we get past 12, what happens, Alex? You run out of your capabilities of math, so what happens?
I've got some fingers and toes left, Dinko. I can keep on counting.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. And we'll see if they can continue the streak, or will G2 break it here. Last round of the half coming up. G2, their buy is weak. They've got an AK-47 in the hands of Jax, the rest on weaker weapons. 2 Galils, and they'll walk out mid. Hobbit is ready for Hunter. Can he get a second? Hunter, he is avenged by Jax, and Hobbit could not find the multi-kill on Nafny's turn, but they're just not getting these multi-kills. Great training from G2. Now it comes down to the B side, and Inters has been fantastic in this position. Once again, delivers at least 1 kill. The bomb is stuck outside. Jax has not been able to get into the B site, and Shiro, he's got him locked in. You may still be alive, but you're dead to rights right now. Shiro holding for the cross. This time will start to tick down, and Shiro knows he's got that player pinned.
Can he toss the bomb? I'm not sure. I don't think he can throw it far enough. If he does try to, he might become exposed to the angle of Shiro. Instead, they're going to move up close.
Oh, the headshot. They went to double peek, but Jax just hits the headshot. Lightning fast, lightning accuracy. And now it is Axel trying to get out mid. The M4 into the 1 versus 2 clutch. He's been solid so far. We'll see if he can keep it up and close out the half in style for Gambit. 12 rounds in a row it would be. And Axel about to come through wind up. Jax down below him. He hit the headshot. He follows it up as well. 11-4 at the half. It's dominant from Gambit. We'll see if they can keep it up heading into the second. Yep.
You still stand out, 'cause no one makes me feel the way you do now, like you do now. You move your body, make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electric. move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. You move your body. Electricity. You move your body. It's electricity.
You got the move on me. I'm telling you now, I'm trapped in ecstasy. No way to come down, too late to pray for me. 'Cause I'm going higher, higher. I'm up in heaven, I'm up in heaven now. I'm up in heaven, I'm up in heaven now. I'm up in heaven, I'm up in heaven now. I'm up in heaven. And I won't come down. Down, won't come down.
Gambit have been dominant in the first half, and it's all about G2 answering back in the second. We're here on the final map of this best of three. They've beating each other on each other's map picks. It was a 16-8 a long time ago for Gambit on Mirage, a 16-13 for G2 on Train, and now we find ourselves 11-4 up for Gambit on Dust2, Alex. What can G2 do to bounce back here?
Well, they won the first half, Pistol. They've got to do the same here. You can see the 1x bet odds definitely not looking too good for G2 right now, but we'll wait and see what they can do on this CT Pistol round. Currently stacking much more heavily towards mid and B, and Jax wants a fight, but he doesn't want it anymore. He's down to 6 health.
Crucial damage done early here for Gambit. It's going to put them in a pretty solid spot as Hunter, the mid door, is trying to get the headshot to draw it back. Axel's just toying with him. Finally, the smoke that allows the safe passage to Xbox comes through. No more feet damage will be coming in. And they're up. And they're in short. Now the pressure does start to rise for G2. Now they have to drop a few players back and figure out how they're going to set up on this A side.
Nafany went 6 for 0 in opening duels in that first half, for what it's worth. I think that's when Gambit go from being just a great team to almost a godlike team, when Nafany's finding that early round success. This one, though, they're taking their time early. That molly into B will flush Amanek out, but the bomb is currently moving into A.
Yeah, up short it goes, and Nico clean on the pistols. 2 headshots picked up. He goes back for a 3K, but can't quite make it happen. But the rest of his team are stepping up, and now Shiro into the 1v3 clutch. He's found Nexa. He will be looking for a second victim, and he's got the headshot there as well. 28 seconds, bomb down at short, and his last victim also happens to be there. It's Amanek. As Shiro moves forward, he spotted the head, I think, there. He's going to run straight over to the B side, but there's going to be limited time. Shiro just has to sprint. He's watching for the drop. 14 seconds left. He's checking all of these positions, and here's the footsteps. He's going for the fight. Amanek now just needs to back off. Shiro should just have enough time to start getting this bomb planted, but Amanek's going to run him down. He's going to run straight to the doorway and calls it off just as the bomb plant comes through. Amanek now waiting for the window push-up. The tension building for Shiro as he moves to the back of the platform. Yes, 2 angles to worry about right now. Eventually, as the time ticks on, even tunnels could be a possibility, but Shiro is focusing on doorway, and he spotted Amanek. The headshot's in. Shiro has clutched out yet another round. It's 12 for Gambit, and G2, they needed that pistol.
The Super Soldier at it again. How many times am I going to say that Shiro is the player in this tournament with the highest percentage of clutch rounds won? So incredible that this guy keeps on doing it. A lot of people weren't sure whether this would be sustainable, but Shiro has proved everyone wrong with his clutch ability. A 1-on-3 goes his way. He turns it into the 1-on-1 fights. The P250 shot onto the second player was already brilliant. And then he has to play with his mind games at the end there. Realized he could make it to B, went for the initial fight, and even after he missed that first chance, he makes up for it on the second time of asking. lining up the headshot onto the door player. And that is a sucker punch for G2. They would have thought they had the pistol round in the bag, but you can never assume anything when Shiro's still alive.
It's just the cold-blooded killer in him. When you're watching him in those clutches, he's got 18 seconds left. He doesn't even really double think himself, right? He's just, I'm going B, and he just makes the right call pretty much every time. It's incredible of a player of his age as well to be able to pull that off. The composure under pressure. And Nafni off to a pretty good start. Inters following up on the MAC-10s. They're making bank. They're also making a great case for a 13th round here.
Should be coming through shortly. Only 2 CTs left. Shiro gets Amanek in the back. A site is wide open, and we might not get a single kill here for G2. Gambit go untouched in that one. A couple of players go low on health. None of them end up going down. And there is that Gambit jersey looking good right now with a 13-4 lead. G2 have to take another low buy, and this is just getting out of hand.
It's been a frustrating Dust2 here for G2. They're going to have one flash available with the USPs. And this is a full eco round. Just looking to save as much as possible. Confirming a 14th round for Gambit. And it really does look like it's almost a formality to play out the final few here. Gambit are in such a good position. We'll see if G2 can find any sort of answers to maybe just make this scoreline a bit more respectable. When you were mentioning it to me, Hawker, you know, the fact that they've already won a map in this series is definitely a good sign for G2. They are playing against Gambit, who are the best performing team in the world. A shot from Shiro on the cross. Flash out here with the flashbang. They've been saving this for the long peak. It's not really going to work out for them. Axel just cleans them up. Hobbit in there as well. 14 rounds, as clean as you could like it. Locked in for Gambit.
And this is what G2 have been waiting for. Orb out for Amanek. Rifles across the rest of the squad. This was solid spray control from Axel. Couple of headshots in quick succession. Last player was already low. Not much that G2 could do this time. Just hoping the flash would get them in with a chance. Instead, it goes the other way. G2 have got a chance to try and get something going here, though. You never want to get blown out on the third map. Let's see if they can get something going now. Nico's gone aggressive. Whoa. Those nades are gonna land. He's only down to 65 health, though. He'll get away.
Yeah, I thought he was about to walk into it just at the worst time as well, but luckily they went a little too far behind the corner of the cubby. So he didn't get dropped down. The significant low health. And oh, Amanek, he didn't drop off, and they were not ready for him to still be around. Amanek overstays his welcome, and he doesn't care.
I do love that Gambit are 14-4 up, and they're still taking this as a bonus round. They didn't just buy to win right now. They've got loads of money in the bank, even if they were to lose this one. But Hobbit doesn't want to lose this round. He's got that first kill. Nexa close by. Hobbit seems aware of the possibility, but he gets hunted down, and Inter's unable to trade.
Yeah, great awareness there from Hobbit to spam away, but still it's traded out. Now the play from Gambit is to go into the A long area. Inter is still a prone to the approach from short and has put pressure on Nexa. Now he has to think about where he looks and tries to isolate these fights, and he's taking that short fight, and he's going to lose it just about as well. Inter's dropped down to 7 HP, and now it is Jackson Hunter in the 2v3. Make it 2v2 with that near kill. Axel and Shiro setting up for the clutch. If you want 2 players alive, it certainly is these two. The eagle out for Axel, and the boost is perfect here from Jax. They've looked away, and they have no idea he's looking up onto the side at the moment, but he's not been able to get an opportunity out of it. They got behind cover, and now Axel starting to take fights. He's down to 1 HP, but Shiro's still there, backing him up, and now another 1v2 needed for Shiro. He's 18-6, make it 19, as Shiro continues to win clutches. 15-4, map and series point here for Gambit. They are feeling so good right now with this Dust2 performance.
There are very few players that you just feel like are going to win almost any clutch scenario they're in. This is one of those games for Shiro. It's almost ZywOo-esque to me. I remember when ZywOo was first breaking onto the scene, I couldn't believe how many clutches he would win, how cool he was under pressure for a fairly new player to the top level. Shiro's now just doing the exact same thing, and it's a timeout for Gambit. 15-4 up. Apparently, they just want to make sure this is as one-sided as possible.
Yeah, they want to give G2 some server time here on Dust2, I think, right now with this timeout. And I mean, it's definitely not been a great showing for them. And just touching back on your point there, you know, you mentioned ZywOo, but it's also pretty similar of Simple, right? When you're watching Simple, you can never really count him out of those situations. It always feels like he can turn those rounds around that no one else can. There's always a chance for him to pull off those clutches, and you never count him out. And I think that's just a trait that all these top-tier elite players, these special ones, all have. And Shiro seems to have that quality about him, so looking forward to seeing the development of him further down the line. So far, so good in 2021 for Gambit. And it looks like it's going to be good here in round 20. G2, they don't have the best of buys here, Hawker. They scrap together what they can.
Definitely looks like a buy from a team that are on their last legs in this series. Like the aggression from Hunter, getting a bit of information. I think you've got to just take some risks at this point, try and get something to go your way. Reminder, this is still the upper bracket. Plenty more opportunities for G2, even if they are to lose this one. So they don't have to get too down on themselves, going up against a very strong team in Gambit. It's a very strong showing from Gambit. 15-4 up. They've got long control, but with G2 clearing out the tunnels, the CT should be pretty well prepared for an A play if it were to come in.
Nico, he's got the flash at the ready. Amanek and Nexa currently setting up on the A side. That Molly has burnt away Amanek, just forced him back, or Nexa forced him back a little bit. And now Nafny starting to creep up closer. They have no idea how close he is, but because the smokes are up, they just have to assume. And Nico gets the flash ready, but Nafny's got into Goose. There's no way you check this spot, truly. As Nexa starts to walk up, the play out long starts to come in, and Nafny is just chilling in behind the smoke, but Hunter and Nico, they've taken the kills, and Nafny's found himself one onto Nexa. Ooh, oh, the B play as well coming in. It's all onto Nico, and Jax left in this 2v2. 11 seconds left. Itchy soars into short. Nico blasted out of the round, and it's all on Jax. Bomb plant starts to come through here for Gambit.
Jax sneaking up through short. They don't seem to know he's here, but Nafny's going to look and land a headshot. Nafny and Shiro both dropped 20 in a dominant performance from Gambit.
A 2-1 win coming in for Gambit. They're looking good in this tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue it and who else they take.